A very good morning, everyone. I hope that you are able to hear me clearly. Sorry, I'm having a bit of networking issues. The internet connection seems to be a bit down, but I hope that you are able to hear me very clearly for this class. Please just give me a feedback if you're able to hear me. Anyone?
Yes, can hear
Okay.
you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Now, in today's class, in our lab class, we'll be looking and we will be continuing where we had left off from last week. Now, last week we were basically looking at some of the HTML codings. So we covered up firstly on paragraphs, we worked on headings, we worked on formatting, skeleton, styles, and comments. Now, also you had saved a home page, so leave it as it is at the moment. We'll work on it right at the very end of the class. So we'll be covering up all the very basic aspects of HTML and by the end of this class, and also whatever you learn by the end of the class, those are the very common things that you use in HTML. There are more advanced stuff that you can use in HTML, okay? But even without those advanced stuff, you can still create very good interactive websites. All right, so let's continue with it without any further delays. So first of all, I'll ask you to open up a notepad, just like last week. Can you go and open up a notepad? With me, everyone? Now, in the notepad, what I would request you to do is, can you go and put down the basic HTML structure or skeleton? I hope you still remember. Okay, so I also tried from my end. You can do it likewise. So it starts with a doc type. That means you go around declaring what type of document it is. And after that is a HTML, opening HTML, followed by a closing HTML. So within that, you will go and indent a bit towards the right-hand side and write down opening head tag, followed by a closing head tag. And inside it, you have a opening title tag, followed by a closing title tag. If you feel I'm going too fast, don't worry, I'll give you time at right when I'm finished, okay? And moreover, straight after that, you have a opening body tag followed by a closing body tag. Now, please do bear this in mind. You need to know this as in your fingertips. If you know this well, then you can work with other elements. If you don't know this, no matter how many other codes you learn, you won't be able to make a website. This is a very basic structure. And without it, it's impossible to create websites. So I'll give you about 3 minutes to work this out. And after that, we will continue with creating links. You have 3 minutes with you. All right, shall we move on? Is there anyone still needs some more time? Those of you who've joined us, thank you very much for reserving your time and joining us. I appreciate your continuous attendance and also your continuous perseverance in these difficult times. So again, very much thank you. Anyone here need some more time on this? No, if not, all right, let's continue. Now let's go and save this page first. So we will go and click onto the file tab. From there, save as command. From it, you will go and place it inside the HTML basics folder that we had last week. Okay, and can you go and name this file as links.html and hit the save button. So once you've done that, you'll go and open up the folder. So within that folder, you'll find links web page or links HTML file. So double click on it to open it up. And this is what you have. Okay, now let's go and start modifying things. So while your web page is still open, please keep it open because we'll use it for refreshing it later onwards. Okay, now inside your title tags, can you go and type down links, LINKS, and Control S to save. Links and Control S to save. So once you've done that, go back to your browser. Remember, as soon as you make a change, always go and refresh your browser and see whether the change becomes effective or not. For instance, the tab name here is links. All right, so the change is very much effective. Now after that, inside the body tag, we'll place in a comment first. Now remember, we worked with comments. Now comments do not appear on your web pages, but is basically for those who are working on the designing end. So if let's say you have done a very big website, and then later onwards you tend to give the project to somebody else to continue from there. So the comment actually allows the next developer to actually see what all has been done previously and how these things or what all things he or she can do in it. So to insert a comment, this is how you go on inserting a comment and write down, let's create a link, Control S to save. Now, when you're creating a link, when you're creating a comment, so just in case if something's wrong in your comment, it would appear as text inside the body element of your web page. If there is no error, you should be able to see the blank page, what you're seeing as right now. Now let's go and create a link. So a link tag starts with something called as an A tag. So you have opening A tag, okay, followed by a closing A tag. It opens and it closes. Pardon me. There you go. Okay. So how do you create a link? So a link is created by using an attribute. Remember, you have a tag. So a tag, anything associated with the tag is called an attribute. So href hyperlink reference equals to and given double quotes. Now, within those codes, let's go and put down FNU's website address. Now, the website address needs to be a complete URL with all the protocols in it. Now, what are protocols now? Protocols are HTTP : // So HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. Now, this particular protocol, it is a set of rules for displaying web pages on a browser. Okay, so hypertext transfer HTTP : / www.fnu.ac.fj. Control S to save. and then you can go and refresh your browser. All right. Now, once I refresh my browser, do you see any changes on your web page? Anyone has some form of changes? No way. Okay, resuming why is because now you have not done anything incorrectly at the moment. You are correct. You have inserted a hyperlink, which is correct, but at the moment your hyperlink is not linked to something. It needs to be linked to, it can be linked to a picture, it can be linked to a text, it can be linked to another link, or it can be linked to a table. Okay, so at the moment we'll just work with text. So let's go and insert a text and call it as Fiji National University, and then Control S to save. Go back to your browser, refresh. Do you have something over there? Yes, no? Okay, let's make it like this. If you do not have something on your web page, let me know. If you do have something, that's fine. After that, can you go and click onto that link? So when you click onto that link, it opens up FNU's website? Yes? Yes, it does. Okay, you can click on the back navigation button and go back. Now, let's go and insert another link. Now, here's the thing. Generally, when we have paragraphs, with paragraphs, automatically you have a next line which is blank. Now, over here, if I would try to type something, for example, if I press Control S, do not type, I'm just showing it to you. If I would press Control S and save it up and refresh my browser, it continues from that point onwards. Are you able to see that? Okay. Now, if you want to have a line in the middle, so we insert something called as a break tag, BR. Okay. Break tag, and then I would try typing something. Control S to save, and it should take the text to the next line. Okay, now remember, it doesn't leave a line in the middle, it takes off the text to the next line. So here a break tag is very much similar to what you have in Microsoft Word. So in Microsoft Word, if you have a paragraph with 20 lines, so if in line 15, if you insert a break, it takes you to line 16 from that point onwards. Likewise over here, it takes you to the next line. So in the next line, this is what I would suggest for you to do. So insert in another A tag. I'll give you a minute to do so. This takes a bit of time. I know that you are looking at my screen and trying to do it in your screens as well. What I would suggest is split your screens into two, notepad on one side, Zoom on the other side, so that you actually have able to have a look at what I'm doing. And if you feel your text on the Zoom screen is a bit slow, hear me out. Okay, I'm also putting commentary as well. I'm doing a commentary on it, so you can hear me out and then try to do it accordingly. So you have A tags, opening A tag followed by a closing A tag. After that, your attribute, hyperlink reference, H hyperlink, ref reference, equal sign, open and close quotes. Okay, and this time what we'll do is we will go and insert in a hyperlink of fijivillage.com. So http://www.fijivillage, spelling should be correct, .com. Now if you feel that you might make errors while you're trying to enter the URL, there's another simple thing to do. What you can do is you can directly go onto that particular website and copy the URL or the website address and paste it here. For instance, have a look at this. So this is for fijivillage.com. So what I can do is I can copy the URL, take it out here and paste it. It will be slightly different, but it will still do the same work. You have this, and a S also comes in for the secured layer. Don't worry about the S, is this, okay? So you can even go around doing this as well. And then you need to link it to something. So check out latest Fiji news. Control S to save. Okay, so once you have done that, once you have saved it, go back to the browser. Here, F5 to refresh. So check out latest Fiji news, click on it, and it opens up fijivillage.com page. All right, any queries on links? No? Okay, interesting, not interesting, difficult? Okay, thank you, Izal. Now I suggest this is interesting. Okay, now I have been working with HTML codes for so long, for quite a number of years, probably more than a decade now. And every time I would try out these codes is as interesting as I learned the very first time. Okay, because it makes you do out of the ordinary things. Now, can you just imagine with a set of codes that you're learning, you're able to build websites like this? Interesting, right? Yes, very interesting. But this is just the very basic. So all the text that you're seeing here has come in through the use, and the pictures as well is coming through the use of HTML. And all these things floating on the screen is coming from other programming languages like CSS. You have Java scripting. You can use Ruby. You can use Java and PHP and so forth. Okay. But about PHP, MySQL, and Java, you learn in CIN628. Internet and web programming, the unit is open next year, semester 1. Okay, in CIN535 you'll just learn about HTML, CSS. So when you go to CIN628, you expected to have sufficient knowledge in HTML and CSS. All right, now let's go and do a save as. So we'll go to file, save as, and this time can you go and save this particular file as images.html. images.html, and then hit the save button. Now, if you notice, as soon as you will hit the save button, your file name changes to images. Always refer to the top section, the naming section of the file, okay? And you should be able to see the file name. All right, now we will leave everything as it is. We'll move down, but we'll change the title as images. And hit the save button, Control S to save. After that, you'll go and open up your HTML basics folder and double click to open up images. All right, let's start working on it now. I'll give you a minute for those of you who are a bit behind. Let's catch up. Okay, those of you are behind, I'll give you 2 minutes to catch up. Okay, now is there any questions or queries from anyone before we hop into images? No? If not, let's. I'm sorry, somebody's okay, let's continue. Now in our body section, first of all, we'll go and insert in a comment, and let's put in a comment as images, Control S to save. Now, like I've said many times, as soon as you would make a change, Control S to save and go and refresh it on the browser to see if you have done things correctly. So if nothing is coming in, so yep, that's a comment. Now, let's go and insert in an image. Now, to insert an image, you have a single image tag. Okay. Now, it's a single tag. You don't need a closing image tag. So this is somehow something unique that came up. Normally, we have quite a bit of opening and closing tags. For example, if you notice break tag as well. Okay. Now, when you have something like that, okay, it's called an end tag. Okay. Now start tag and then finish tag or end tag. Over here, when you have a single tag, it's called an end tag. Okay. Now with the image tag, you generally have, okay, before you actually go, we start going and before we actually go and work on this, go onto your Moodle page and please go and download that image that you have under the week 10 section of the Moodle shell. Very quickly, please, can you download this up and save it inside the folder? And while you're saving it, please name your file as img for image. If it picks up the name itself, good. If it doesn't, rename it to img. All our image names need to be same so that we are quite in sync with one another. Okay, so once you've done that, let's go to our images.html and insert the attribute called source. So source attribute src equal to, and then you have double quotes. Okay, now in it, you will insert in the name of the image. Now here's one crazy thing. Okay, when you are inserting the image, first of all, your name needs to be correct, and also your file name. Now the file extension. So the file extension over here is a JPEG file, .jpg. Now, as you have learned in our lecture notes, there are so many different types of file types or file formats. So you have .gif, you have .png, .tiff, okay? So many of them, okay? However, in this case, is .jpg, which means JPEG file, okay? So what I will do is I will need to be very careful and type down images dot, is it images or image? It's img rather, pardon me, is img for image dot jpg. Control S to save, go back to the browser, refresh your page up. Okay, at the moment your image is floating somewhere between the links, don't worry about it. We'll work on this when you're working with CSS. Right now, at the moment, we're just inserting in HTML. Okay. Now HTML, you put in all the contents. CSS, you structure and style it out. Okay, so that's how it works. Now there's another attribute with images is called alternate text, ALT, and then you have quotes. Now alternate text gives in some additional information about the image. In this case, it's just a flower, so I write down flower. Okay, now let's go and refresh. Now you should not be able to see any changes. The reason being why we insert alternate text is because of this. Now let's say if you are putting in an image and you make an error. So the alternate text basically means an alternative to the image. So the image has some error and it is not displaying. So the alternate text will go and feed in some form of text instead of the image. For example, if I make an error with the file name, and instead of img, I write down imag for image, and I save it up. Don't do it, just follow up what I'm doing. Okay, and control S to save. Refresh the browser. What do you get? Flower. Okay, but no image coming in. So that's what it does instead. But if your file name is correct, so the alternate text, there's no need to have an alternative because the image is correctly displayed. You may refresh your browser, and there you go. All right, let's go and insert in another image. So we'll give it a break first. And image tag. So what I would normally like to do when I'm inserting an image tag is I will go and type down source and alternative with codes together. Okay, so once you've done that, now let's go and feed in an image of your choice. See if you have any alternate image in your computer. If you don't, you can always go and download the image. Now let's feed in, let's look at a cartoon image. You can also do a Google search. You should know how to go around finding images. Okay, let's go and get an image. So I have an image of, okay, I'll take an image of Winnie the Pooh. Okay, and then right click, save as. Now it's a JPEG file again. So already I have a file named image. So I will name this as image2 and hit the save button. Now in here, okay, img2.jpg. Okay, sorry, I'll give you about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to download the image, save it in the folder, and then we'll continue. You can always go and enter the source, that is the image img2.jpg, and then we'll continue from there. Okay, I hope you've done that. You still have a minute with you though. Take time, do it properly, do it correctly and accurately. All right, Okay, we have already passed the 2 minutes time, and with it we'll also insert in an alternate text. So before we do it, let's go and see whether our image is displayed or not. So there's Winnie the Pooh. Okay, and I hope that you have the image of your cartoons there as well. And let's feed in some alternate texts. So let's put in Winnie the Pooh. Again, Control S to save, refresh your browser. All right, moving on. Okay, so what we'll do is we will go and do a save as. So file, save as, and this time can you go and name your file as tables.html and hit the save button. Please ensure that your destination folder is HTML basics. I hope that you're still retaining that folder. If you don't have the files from last week, so you'll have some problems right at the very last exercise. Okay, even if you don't have it, try to work without it. Okay, or you may need to go and work out something to get the previous files. All right, so tables.html. All right, and then hit the save button. Now, the very same time, go back to that folder, open up tables. All right, now straight up where you have the title, give the title name as tables. Okay, I have the name there as tables. That's pretty good. And then right after both the images, let's go and insert in a comment and call it as tables. Now here's the thing. If you're using an IDE are specialized HTML softwares, whereby you can write on HTML codes. Example, you have Edit Plus, you have Notepad Plus Plus, you have there are a lot of different ones. Okay, so if you are using those, okay, those IDEs, so your comments would be in a different color, probably in color green. Okay, and your tags would be in a different color. So anytime if you write down a incorrect, if your code has some errors in it, it will try to pick up some errors and let you know. Okay, so IDs are able to do that for you. Edit Plus is able to do that. Notepad Plus Plus even. So these are the common ones. There are some more quite good kind of HTML editors that you can work with, but we are doing with the very basic one. Okay, and to be very honest, if you're able to write down codes in Notepad, you can write down codes in any IDEs or any HTML based software. So it's good to learn from the very basics. All right, now for your tables, you will insert a table tag, opening table tag, followed by a closing table tag. You need to insert in a line in the middle, and it needs to be indented in line. Okay, so opening table tag followed by a closing table tag. Control S to save, refresh your browser. I don't think you should be able to see any changes. And also I hope that you're not relaxing and seated like how Winnie the Pooh is seated over there. because you need to write down those codes, and I hope you're doing it accordingly. Now, within the table tags, let's indent a bit to the right, okay, and insert in a row. So to insert in a row, you have opening TR tag, move to the next line, and a closing TR tag. Control S to save. Now, within the TR tags, this is what happens. Each and every table, they have a set of headers. Now, if you have worked with Excel, we normally call these as the table fields. So for example, if you want to write down names, so you have a field name written, a cell which is bold in color name, something for age, for the date of birth, and so forth. Okay, so over here in HTML, these are called table headers. So inside your table, you've inserted the whole table, so the structure comes in. So inside that, you have a row. So a row, remember, moving from left to right, column is up to down. So we don't have something as columns in here. Okay, we have rows only. So how do you work it out? Now, in here, you indent a bit towards the right and insert in a table header tag, opening table header tag, followed by a closing table header tag, which is represented by the tags TH. Okay, now let's go and insert 3 of those. Opening TH tag followed by a closing TH tag, Control S, and that's how you have it. 3 tags of set of TH tags. If you would press Control S to save, remember I've always told you while we whenever we've started since last week, that whenever you're making a change, save it and go and refresh your browser to see what you can do, okay, or what do you get. At the moment, you're seeing nothing, okay? So this is how general tables work, okay? You have nothing and you build on. So first one, you'll insert in student ID. So it's your first header, okay? Control S to save, go back to your browser, F5 to refresh, student ID. After that, you have student name, and then after that you have date of birth. Now Control S to save, go back to your browser, F5 to refresh, so you have something as such. I'll give you 2 minutes to work on this. Okay, so once you've done that, now this is what we have done so far. We've inserted the entire table structure. Within the entire table structure, you have a table row. So the row currently has 3 headers, in other words, 3 columns. Okay, now we move on to the next row and start entering the next set of data. So this is how we'll do it. Right after the table row tag, you'll insert in another opening TR followed by a closing TR, Control S to save. And within that, you have opening TH followed by a closing TH. Okay, now remember, this is one single entry, a row. So you're trying to enter details in a row. Now, pardon me, it doesn't need to have a TH. Why? Because you're not putting in header, you're putting in normal data. So instead of TH, you'll have TD. TD stands for table data. So the TD tags go inside the table row. All good? Okay, now let's go and enter the details. Let's say student ID S1001. Student name Tom Wellings. Date of birth 02/07/91. Control S to save. Go back, refresh your browser, see what you get. Don't worry about the table lines. Table lines generally come under CSS, so we'll work on it once we start working with CSS. All right, you have 2 minutes to get things in order. Okay, let's go into and insert the next set of row. Now, let's say we want to have 5 entries, 5 students, 5 student IDs, 5 student names, and 5 date of births. That means 4 more rows needs to come in. One is already inserted in. So opening TR tag followed by a closing TR tag. And then you have TD, opening table data followed by a closing table data. Okay, let's insert in 3. Why 3? Because we have 3 columns, okay, with 3 table headers. So that means, therefore it means 3 set of table entries for a particular student. So first student ID S1002. Let's give it a name. Let's say Peter Ben, and date of birth 29/09/1999. And then insert, can go and refresh your browser so the second set of entry comes in. Okay, now for the next 3 set of rows, this is what I want you to do. I want you to feed in some random values, random student ID. You can follow the order, you can have it from S1003 onwards. Put in random names and random date of births. Okay, so next 3 entries, please fill it in yourself. I will give you close to about 5 minutes to do that. It's 9:48 at the moment. So 9:53, I will ask and I will continue with the next exercise. Get on with it, everyone. You still have 3 minutes with you. One more minute, people. All right. I hope that you have managed to complete this. Okay, so my table looks something like this. Now we have not worked out the borders and spacing. Like I've said, with HTML, we can actually apply some form of styling to it using the style attribute, but we will work this out in CSS. So at the moment, we are working with just plain HTML. So this is the very basics on inserting a table. So what I would like you to do is, can you go onto the notepad file, go to file and do a save as, and this time save the name of your file as lists.html. Ensure that you've saved it in HTML basics folder. Okay, so once you've done that, you'll scroll down. Right underneath the table tag, you will insert in a comment and call the comment as lists, give a hyphen or dash, ordered and unordered lists. Control S to save. So once you've done that, this is what I would like to do next. Go into the next line and we'll start with ordered listing first. So ordered listing OL, opening OL tag followed by a closing OL tag. After that, Control S to save. Go to the browser, F5 to refresh. So once you have done that, this is what I would like to do next. Inside the OL tag, put in li indicating that there are some form of lists. So opening li tag followed by a closing li tag. And I would like you to go and insert at least about 5 of those li tags. If you don't want to write it down, you can copy and paste. It does the same work. Okay, so remember, li stands for lists. I'll give you about 2 minutes to do that, please. Okay, once you've done that, sorry, you still have a minute left with you. Continue. Okay, so now this is what I want you to do. If you Control S to save, go back to browser, F5 to refresh, you will still see nothing. Okay, unless until you enter something. So let's go and write down the name of the fruit. So you have apple, you have pear, you have oranges, have avocados, and let's put down guava over here. And then Control S to save. So once you've done that, this is what I would like you to do next. Go to your browser, F5 to refresh. please ensure to open it up as well, right? You see it comes in numbers. So when you have ordered listing, you can have things in numbers, you can have things in alphabets, you can have it in Roman numbers and so forth. What I want you to do is I would like you to have a feel of the default values so far. In next week's class, we'll work with customized values. At the moment, default values, please. Okay. So I'm going to give you a minute to catch up. Okay. So that's on ordered listing. So the next step of listing that we have is unordered listing. Unordered listing normally is represented in terms of bullets, different types of bullet points. Okay. So you have opening UL followed by a closing UL. Okay. Now inside the UL tags, you will have lists. So opening LI tag and closing LI tag for lists. And this is what I would like you to do is can you go and insert in 5 lists in total. Now within the list, now last time we named some fruits. This time let's go and name some vegetables. So let's put in cabbages, and I can put in pumpkin, put in beans. What else is vegetable? Put in okra, and also let's go and put in what else do you have? Let's put in spinach. All right, so once you've done that, you can press Control S to save, go back to your browser, F5 to refresh. So that is the major difference between the two types of listing. You have ordered listing and also you have unordered listing. Okay, now, so that sums up the list of exercises, the basic exercises that we had in HTML. Now, this is what I would like you to do. Now, can you go to your notepad, go to file, and click on open. Now, within the open section, open up. I've saved my HTML basics folder on desktop. So you can go to desktop, open up HTML basics folder. At the moment, I'm seeing it as blank. So what I will do is the file format types, I will select all files. So in all files, I want to go and select home. With me, everyone? Okay. So once you're there, this is what you'll do next. So we have worked on HTML basics last week. We gave in a header 2 and header 4. Remember, header 2 is bigger than header 4. So these were there. Let's go and open up this file as well. Okay. Home. So this is what you have so far. All good, people? Now, I want to do a bit of alterations to it. Okay. Can you go and remove all the heading 4s that you have over there? Let's have just HTML basics as heading 2. And now I want you to go and insert in unordered listing. Do you remember unordered listing? So leave a line UL, opening UL, followed by a closing UL. After that, you have LI tags. Okay. Opening LI followed by a closing LI. Now, altogether, we had worked on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises last week, and today we had links, images, tables, and listing. So 4 more. So can you go and insert in 9 listings in total? So 9 of LI tags. Done, everyone? So once you've done that, first of all, let's go and put down headings in there. So headings. After that, paragraphs. After that, styles. After that, formatting, followed by comments. Then you have links, and then images, tables, and finally lists, put down as lists. Alrighty, so once you've done that, this is what I want you to do. Now I want you to go and compare your name of the files. So headings, correct name. Paragraphs, paragraphs. Now what is different? One is in lowercase, the other one is in uppercase. So can you make sure the one that is in folder, can you make it as uppercase as well? So please ensure the names that you have listed in the notepad file, it should be the same in the HTML basics folder. Okay, take the ones in the notepad file as the sample, or as the format. So styles, there you go, same formatting, same comments, there you go, same links, capital L for links, by the way. Images, capital I for images. tables, capital T for tables. Lists, capital L for lists. Okay, the rest seems fine from my end. Okay, please amending accordingly. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build up a page whereby we can link all those files in one page. So when you click on it, it should open up the page. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. Now, why I have named the file format similar, so that it becomes easy when I'm naming the file. Remember how we linked how we had worked with links? So that time we were basically trying to link a web page through a URL. Over here, we'll try to link it to the use of a HTML page. And it is very much possible to do so. Okay, so now I will go and minimize my folder. So I have my notepad and I'll start coding it. So I have an opening A tag followed by a closing A tag. Now this is what I want you to do. I would like you to go and refresh your page and see what you get. All right. Now in here, we'll go and insert a link. So hyperlink reference, href as an attribute in quotes, Control S to save, go and refresh your browser. See, it forms a link at the moment, but we have not attached any file or any hyperlink to it or any URL to it yet. So the name of the file is same as this. So it will be headings.html, Control S to save. Now, when you go to your browser, refresh the page, click on headings, opens up this. Let me repeat that. Once you have inserted your hyperlink reference headings.html, go back to your browser, refresh, click on headings, it opens up the heading page. Good. Okay, let's go back and to the notepad. Likewise over here, opening a tag followed by a closing a tag. Now in the opening a tag, you have an attribute, okay, which is a hyperlink reference, paragraphs.html, okay, Control S to save, go back to browser, F5 to refresh, click on paragraphs, and go back again. Likewise, you'll do it for the rest of your listings. Start with the opening a tag, followed by with a closing a tag, and then your opening a tag has an attribute called hyperlink reference. In it, it's styles.html, Control S to save. Okay, and then please do go back, refresh, and see if it opens it up accordingly. It does. Now, then move on to the next one. Do it for all of it, please. Now, do you understand why I asked you to have the same file names? Okay, this is the reason it makes you work easy. Otherwise, every time you will have to go around looking in the correct name and the correct formats. I hope that you're keeping up. Okay. Try to do it on your own as well. Okay. See if you have learned the entire thing or not. And moreover, once you try, only then you will be able to understand whether you know the entire concept or do you lack any knowledge in it. So this is how it is for all those listings and the links. I'll give you 5 minutes to actually, in fact, I'll give you, yeah, around 5 minutes and then we'll talk what to do next. So it's 10:16 at the moment. You have time till 10:21. Have 4 more minutes. Okay. Now, this is what I want you to do. Next week, when you come in, okay, we have concluded with all the exercises for today. So next week, when you come in, I want you to have this done. So at the moment, when you're on the browser, when you click on headings, okay, so it takes you to the headings.html page. This is the name of the file, by the way. Okay. Now you're there, very good. Now, all this while, what we're doing is we're using a navigation button of the web browser to actually go back and forth in the page. So what I want you to do is you come up with a listing, you can come up with a heading or whatsoever, whereby when you click on it, it takes you back to the home page. Now, this is exercise for whole of the week till next week, next week's lecture class. And in next week's lecture class, I'll ask you to share your screens with me and show it to me. Is it fine with everyone? It's not a difficult exercise. It's pretty simple. What we have done here, same procedure, is just that you have to ensure that you have a home page link somewhere here at the bottom. And when you click on it, it takes you back to the home page. Is that fine with everyone? So in next week's class, Thursday afternoon, okay, I will ask you to share your screens and let's see what you have done. All good? Okay, thank you. So this is where we'll knock off the class for today. So thank you very much everyone for joining in. You've got a bit of exercises on you, okay? By the way, by next week, Monday or Tuesday, your major project or the next project will be already up on Moodle. It will include all those things that you have done so far, and together with that CSS, which you will be learning in the next few set of weeks. So till then, take care, stay safe. I will see you all in next week's Thursday's class. Should you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop me a message or an email. Thank you so much. Renaka, have a blessed day.